I guess Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. This weekend has been kind of a whirlwind of activity around here. So yesterday we had to get hay. I actually had to have our daughter come out to help with that because Tracy recently screwed up her knee pretty badly. So she's really not much help. So I've been pretty much flying solo way more than I normally do, which is been weird to get adjusted to and to try to get used to, but it's much better for her just to rest, especially because literally every walkway that we have is a solid sheet of ice. So I really don't want her out walking around, slipping and falling again or anything of the sort like that, because that would be bad. So today, well, we'll go back it up a little bit to yesterday. So Becca came out yesterday to help get a truckload of hay. We had an adventure with trying to get the lawnmower started because there was no way to get the truck from the driveway back here over to the hay barn way over there. There was just way too much ice, way too much snow. As you guys can see back over here, this is where our property gets sunlight. So the snow has melted, and then you come over this way and everything is just an icy walkway to basically death. But so there was no getting the truck back here. There was no easy way to unload the hay. It took us several hours actually to get everything set up so we could move the hay, which is just ridiculous for only 25 bales of hay. And it's really not safe to even walk this way while carrying stuff, because as you can see, all of these paths that we had made while there was all the deep snow has now turned completely to like a couple inches thick of ice. So it's been pretty much just a very crunchy walking experience to get anywhere. But so we had to get a new battery for the lawnmower so that way we could get the lawnmower to start. First we tried to jump it with the car, so we pushed it all the way down to the end of the driveway where our vehicle was at, so that way, you know, we could be going downhill while we pushed. Wouldn't start still even after jumping it and leaving it on for a while, so we got a new battery for it, had to get that installed, and then I had Becca help us clean out the barn too. I had started cleaning it out, and then I realized that it was going to be much faster and easier if I just hired her to come out and help. I definitely think it was money well spent to help get it cleaned out, because it needed cleaned out pretty badly. And honestly, I kept waiting for Tracy's shoulder to feel better, and then she hurt her knee, so she was not of any sort of, she got to take the time off. So I ended up taking all of that spent hay from the barn, the majority of it, and putting it over here. So I left it all in big mounds, just basically filled up a wheelbarrow, dumped it all out, and then I since sprinkled a bunch of corn on top of it, so that way the ducks and the geese will end up basically kicking it all around, scratching it all up, and spreading it all out for me, so that way I can turn this area here into a future garden bed. So I've been kind of brainstorming a lot recently as I've been, sitting there tending to the fire for, hours upon hours upon hours to cook it down, and, collecting the tree sap and all that stuff of just walking around looking at the property. And I've been really trying to look at things. I better be careful on this ice. The snow is just so crunchy that it drives me nuts to walk on it. But I've been really trying to look at things from a different perspective on our homestead, of trying to sort of flip the script on it to see what all possibilities there are for this land, and what all we can do, and how to rearrange it and redesign the entire property so that way we can have a garden space again. So it's kind of a weird thing to have lived on a property or own a property for almost 2 years to then go, yeah, I gotta make a different plan. So it's kind of weird looking at things. But the nice thing is, from a permaculture perspective, I've had 2 winters now that I've got to watch this property. Well, kind of almost 3, because it was the beginning of spring when we bought it. But I got to see it through all these different stages and all these different cycles, that now I pretty much know where all of the wet spots are, where all the sun spots are, the dry spots, the shady spots. It's really nice from a design perspective that I can actually confidently be like, okay, I know my land, I know what to do, I know how to do it, and what will actually work best for it. So some of the bigger pieces, that's a lot of smoke. Whew. Some of the bigger pieces that I'm burning are actually stuff that we had tried to split for the wood stove. It didn't split right. It was kind of not that great a firewood, so I've actually been saving some somewhat crappy pieces for this project in particular. Just like a lot of brush piles that I have, I've been working on pulling that all up this way, so then that way I have, easy access wood to burn. But it's all a bunch of stuff that is really low quality firewood, so it's just stuff like pine too, that you don't want to burn in a wood stove, but it works perfectly for this sort of an application. So that's about all that's going on for me, actually. I don't want to sort of spoil anything ahead of time, give any spoiler alerts as to what I've been thinking about for in terms of design, because I'd really much rather, this week a lot of the snow is supposed to melt, so I'd much rather be able to bring you guys along when it's not so treacherous to walk around, so then I can show you where I'm going to try to basically put a bunch of little pocket gardens all over the place. So from a perspective of growing food in a very small amount of space, you guys are about to see a whole bunch of different little gardens this year, of showing you how small of a yard you can have to actually have a lot of produce coming out, a lot of different abundance and different things like that. So that's kind of my hope here coming up soon, is that I'll be able to nail down exactly where I want to put stuff and have things rearranged in lieu of, you know, losing a big chunk of our yard. So that'll be a future video. So anyways, that's it for today. I've got to get some more wood put in here. It is way too smoky for me to try to talk while tending the fire. As you guys can see, it's pretty much just smoldering now, just in the 5 minutes that I've been talking to you guys. So this is very much a sit outside all day, watch the fire sort of a situation until it starts raining here in a couple hours. So I got things to do. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.